following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Oh, look who we have.
It's a beautiful day. Get our man, Jim from Minneapolis. We gonna take him by storm?
Taking it by storm, baby.
I love that. That's a great saying, man. Hey, what's happening, brother?
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Good, man. Yourself?
Oh, man. It's been the most incredible couple of days since when I called in on Friday, Litecoin busted out of that consolidation on the 2-hour chart.
Okay.
And it just never looked back. It did a 100-point ABC up, and now it's very extended the way I look at it. But holy, I mean, it went up to $420 last night.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 7 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. Always do your best, but don't overdo. When you overdo, you deplete your body and you go against yourself. And what will happen? It will take you longer to accomplish your goals. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials down 118. NASDAQ is up 17. S&P's down 8. Gold contract up $6, trading at $15.60 an ounce. We have silver up 15 cents, $18.09 an ounce. Light sweet crude off 58 cents, $58.98 a barrel. Notes and bonds. You get the 10-year up 7 ticks, trading at 129.03. The 30-year up 27 ticks, almost a full point, at 157.21. And King Dollar. King Dollar down 78 ticks, trading 97.371. The euro is at 111. The yen is at 109.5, and the pound is at 130 to 1 U.S. dollar. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? We get over to the future market first. What you're going to see, the futures, folks, made a new all-time high prior to the NYSE opening up. That all-time high was established out here at 6:20 in the morning, and that was at 32.87. Now, I'm down 20 bucks off of this number, and what is happening right now is that we hit one low that was established out here at 12 o'clock, and we're blowing that low away right now, and with, well, not quite volume. You're going to have it with price. But I suspect what it looks like is that the next leg out here, you're at 32.67, 32.64 is game, because we just basically took apart the 12 o'clock one, and then you get a spike down there from yesterday that it rejected. Also at 12 o'clock, which is the 32.64 number. NQs, the NQs, which have been the strongest, the NQs, NDX 100 brought the market up, brought the NASDAQ up, brought the composite up, all of the above. Bottom line, NQs have turned. They made an all-time high this morning at 9,055. Right now, you're at 89.86. This little baby here, let's see, 89. Yeah, if it stays below 89.89, now this is going to get really intriguing, this one. The reason being is this. The S&P number is only 4 points below where we're talking. A test of this one, however, if in fact it's going to break down here, is actually 30 points lower than we are right now. 30 points. You know, so 89.52 is game. You know, so this is going to be intriguing how we come into this close out here. The Dow Industrials, that was the first one that got into the red out here today. Absolutely a model sin, no doubt about that. We haven't seen red in a long period of time. And right now, you got the Dow Industrials. We are trading down 111, and inside the Dow Industrials, strength versus the weakness. So you get Boeing, the leader on the way down, Boeing is putting 37 negative points in. You got Travelers putting 15, United Technologies 11, JP Morgan 9. Helping the Dow Industrials out is that you get United Health putting 8 positive points, Pfizer 3. Apple, which was the leader out here this morning, bottom line, gave it up on price. Apple had traded to $312.67. Right now, Apple is flat at $309.70. That being said, Apple, you talk about a tear. Apple 5 months ago, folks, was $192. 192 to 312, non-stop. Pretty intense. No two ways about that. 30-year bond. Let's go take a look at the 30-year bond because these notes and bonds just will not give it up. Now, I don't expect them to give it up, by the way, also. But the bottom line is that it's still so intriguing that you can be at all-time highs, and the note and bond market still wants higher price. 30-year bond right now, we're up 27 ticks. You've done 241,000 contracts. What we had done on Wednesday, folks, that's when we had that highly volatile day that you had the S&P plunge, S&P come all the way back. In fact, the Dow Industrials, from the plunge down to where we went to a high today, went up 1,000 points, folks, almost just 1,000 points in the context of 3 days. Now, the 30-year bond, 158.19, 159.19 rather. That was the number at the high. You get volume up there, bottom line. You had already broken the downtrend that's been in place inside the bond market going back to August. That is saying, number one, you're going higher. Number two, it's saying on a longer-term basis, meaning 2 or 3 months, we're going to be right back up into the 165 area. And right now, you're at 157. The 10-year right now is at 1.823. And if that's where we go, folks, that 10-year is going to be... let's see. Let me pull a 10-year for a second. TYH. Well, yeah, I can do it this way. I'm going to put the 10-year yield up. This is better. 10. Yeah, let's do it this way. So we are at 182. Yeah, that would put, puts at 1.50. 1.50. That's where the next move would be. That's one incredible move. Some of the higher volume equities out here. Today you got Apple, which was up good. Now it's only up 33 cents. You get Beyond Meat up $6.44. GE's down 19. You get Advanced Micro off 85. Inside the NDX 100, as I say, the strength versus the weakness there. Mercado Libre is up 3% or $20. Intuitive Surgical is up 2.7%, which is another $15. Now, that had been up $32, okay? So they're selling that off just a bit as we come through the trading day. Silver market caught a bid before gold did out here today. Gold ended up following it up, but silver had a low out here of 1786. Right now, you're at 1810. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Dow Industrials down 111, Nasdaq off 19, S&P's off 8.5. We'll come right back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow down 114, Nasdaq off 20, S&P's off 8.5. XAU, HUI. So we've had a heck of a week inside the gold market. No two ways about that, folks. And you can expect that volatility is going to continue inside the metals market. If we take a look at the XAU, what you're going to see out here is that you pull back with dramatically lighter volume into the strength that had been established out there on the week of the 20th. Bottom line, so we'll see how this baby shakes out. That's when we went from a price point of 98 to 107. Right now, you're at 102. Let's go take a look at the GDX. So the GDX right now, that came back to its strength. Now, where it broke topside from, it started at $27.05. Your next break when you got over the consolidation, however, is $27.89 to $28.66. You had volume there of 70 million, and we came into that with 60. So that's not bad. That's on the daily. Let's see what we have in the weekly. I think on the weekly, I'm going to have to do, I think it was the week. Yeah, it was. So it was the week of Christmas. So I have to work on that a bit, meaning that what days we were open and what days we weren't open. But the bottom line is that in both cases, I suspect they're going to go right after the highs that were generated out here in September once again. Now, if we take a look at the contract, now this is what's going to be really cool. So the gold contract, folks, I expect is a complex ABC up. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so what we did is this. We blew away, let me pull this up here. Okay, so we blew away the B point with volume. The B point inside the gold contract was $1,590. Let's do these numbers here. Okay. So we get 1590 as the B point. Your A point here is down at 1456, which gives you, let me just say, 1590 minus 1453. Okay, 137. And then you see out here is hanging out at 1541. That gives you a 1672 A to B equals C to D. Now what I'm going to do, so that's on your daily. Now watch this. I'm going to put this on a weekly because I believe that we also got a weekly ABC structure on the way up. That's gets you to 17 something. Okay, so here it is. This is really cool. So your weekly, your B point on the weekly is same price point, 1559. The differential on the weekly, your A point is 1266. There it is, which is 293, and your C plus 1446 is 1739. So what does it mean when it's a complex ABC structure? So what happens is this, folks. You take out the B point, you take it out with volume, and you don't hold price. Okay, so now you have a higher high, gave it up on price, took out the swing point, B point. What makes it a complex ABC? So a complex ABC goes like this. We got the first part of it in. The second part is also going along in harmony with an ABC structure on the way up. And what does that mean? That means that from that point on, you pull back, and you pull back with lighter volume. Then what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for a rejection of lower price with lighter volume. Guess what, folks? That's exactly what we got yesterday. Now the deal is it's going to go after the B point again, which is up here at the 1590. And if that's what you get, bottom line, then you get that complex ABC structure on the way up. And that's when you have that price target out here of that 1739. And that absolutely lines up with your next swing area inside of the gold contract. We bring this baby back, and you're going to see that's been sticking out like a sore thumb. And that number is 1794. And that's only a 1-to-1 ABC structure. What you also have here is that you have had the consolidation. See, we had taken the consolidation out the week of June, the last week of June. The consolidation that we had took out was a 5-year consolidation, actually almost 6 years. You take out a 6-year consolidation, folks, with volume, guess what? Your probability is much higher that that's where you're going to go. So my take on this is that, number one, you're going up to the 1794, and guess what? Once you're at 1794, it's not going to be hard to take out the all-time high of 1920. Then the question's going to be, do you actually have a much larger ABC up? Now, this doesn't get up that much higher because of the fact that where this whole thing started from. But when the bull market started, folks, in 2000, you were down to that 252 area. It gets all the way up to 2011 at 1920. Bottom line, you did a 50% retracement of that whole move, which, by the way, is a normal retracement. I believe it's 50%. Let me just make sure of this. Yeah, it was 50% right on the dot. Okay, so it's pretty cool how that whole thing actually did retrace. And guess what? That's saying that you very well could have a much larger ABC up. Now, what does happen is this. Now, this is the cool part. You got to remember, inside an ABC structure, your A to B point is a straight line move. Your C to D, no, your B to C is a consolidation, drives everyone up the wall. Your C to D is also a straight line move. So I suspect, we're going to see, it looks to me like, number one, we're absolutely in the weekly one. The real question is going to be, are we in a monthly ABC structure too? And if that's who we are, you're going to start seeing one-way moves inside of the metals market. That's kind of how that whole thing shakes out. So pretty intense. There's no two ways about that. Now, if that's what we get, then I suspect what we'll get on the other side of that is a one-way move inside the U.S. dollar. The dollar broke its uptrend from February of 2018. It was a decisive break. It had a break with conviction. What that means specifically is that you just had wide price spread on the break. It broke the first week of December. The first level on the way down where, you will find out whether this continues to want to go lower is at that 95 area. Right now, you're at 97,367. What the dollar did do this week is that it came up to its break point. It couldn't hold price. backed off, got on top of it. It's below it right now. I suspect we're going to close below it. That sets up a run down to the lower end. You break 95, and then you're going to get some action here because there's a lot of support between basically 95, 500 and the 95 area. You break that, and then guess what? Your next move is down to that 88 area. And what that will be about, and we're coming up to it, that's going to be about the Brexit. That's going to be about the pound. More so, though, it's going to be about the euro. The euro hasn't been able to move yet, folks. Pound is on its way higher. Dow down 107, NASDAQ off 21, S&P's off 8.5. Stay right there, folks. Good eye, man, Mr. Dave White. Coming back, we're going to be talking technology.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. TFNN has put together the best lineup of live content for traders by traders every market day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected minds in the business. TFNN broadcasts 5 days a week live from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We have live programming every market day during market hours. Every morning, Larry Pesavento kicks off the trading day live at 9 a.m. and breaks down the opening bell with Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour, followed at 11 a.m. by the team at TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim with Fast Market. Basil Chapman hosts the Tiger Technicians Hour at noon, Steve Rhodes at 1 p.m. with the Trader's Edge, Dave White at 2 p.m. with the Power Trading Hour, and Tom O'Brien anchors the daily lineup from 8 till 5 as host of the Tom O'Brien Show. Tune in to TFNN's Tiger TV on your computer or mobile device, and you can always find us streaming on YouTube. TFNN.com, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow down 105, NASDAQ off 20, S&P's off 8.5. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Dave White, as we do each and every Friday at 30 past the hour. And don't forget, folks, Dave does an outstanding show here every trading day, 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. Also has 2 great newsletters, the Path of Least Resistance as well as the Tech Insider. You can get both of these by coming over to our website at TFNN. You can just hit the Path of Least Resistance. Your baby pops right up. You hit subscribe. You can get the Path for $119 for 1 month. You can get it for $559 for 6 months, which is a savings of $155. You can get it for $985 for a year, which is a savings of $443. They all come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. Dave White, what's going on?
Well, it was Consumer Electronics Show week, and why I can't say that there are a lot of things today that make me want to go out and invest in something. There's a lot of technology that is showing some promise in the very near future.
Okay.
The biggest thing probably this year were a lot of bigger, and even drive-in size theater screens.
Oh, really?
From companies like Samsung and LG. They seem to be competing who can build something bigger that no one will ever buy. But there was one from LG that was 300 feet by wide by 200 feet tall.
Wow.
And they're building these with smaller screens that just kind of plug together, but they're bezel-less, so you can't really see any lines in them or anything. But they're also flexible. So they made this one display that looks like a waterfall, and you really have to, I was watching it on YouTube, but the people there really said that, that there was enough depth to the screens that you really had to kind of do a double take of whether it was real or
that's pretty cool,
or a screen. But but they move, and of course there's a kind of a new bunch that there's like a box. Remember the slideshows and 8mm films used to have those screens that you'd kind of pull out of the bottom to a hook on the top?
Yes.
There's some that do that kind of automatically with screens, so you can have this kind of thing that's about the size of a soundboard, what do you call them? Sound bar.
Yes.
Right. And the screen just kind of comes straight up out of it, which kind of interesting technology, but they're, something probably I wouldn't buy. I don't know how many people will. Look really neat.
They probably set it up for the technology, right? I mean, that's
a lot of this stuff never kind of ever makes any money, but they like to show these kind of things too. But the big 8K screens look like what they're going to be pushing next Christmas for LG, Samsung, all that stuff looked good. The Segway people had a kind of a sit-down thing that looked more like an egg probably out of some kind of 70s movie of what they thought that the 2000s were going to be like.
Yeah, right.
And you sit in this thing, and it's an egg, so you don't stand on it anymore.
Get quashed.
But it can go over curbs, that kind of stuff. These things are still $3,000 or $4,000, and just seem like someone probably would have brought the price down by now for Segway. But it is kind of an interesting idea of you telling it where to go, and it'll just take you there. So there's a lot of autonomous kind of overtones in it. Of course, I always think it was kind of ironic that the inventor of the Segway sold it to this big billionaire in England, and he promptly, in a year after buying it, took one of the Segways over a 100-foot cliff, and that was the end of him. So,
really?
Yeah, I was saying
that's crazy.
Well, I don't know what he was doing, riding the Segway next to a 100-foot cliff, but he did. And that kind of, the thing kind of had some legs for a while, but that when it was all up in the air and the owner died.
Was it the guy up in New Hampshire, that guy Dean, that did the Segway?
Yeah, he sold it to this guy that had billions.
Right. Okay.
Because Dean didn't have enough money to really push it. And of course, this guy had it less than a year when he killed himself on it. And then, the family fought over everything.
Wow.
And Segway kind of had a little bit of mojo going, and it just kind of went away. Then there's a lot of personal transportation stuff that they're showing that was very interesting. There's a lot of these, the drones that everybody buys, the little small ones that are maybe a foot or 2 feet square or something.
Okay.
With the little propellers and everything and the cameras on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scaling those up so humans can ride them. One was looked more like a Star Wars speeder bike with propellers.
Really?
If you fell off of it, you were going to fall through the propellers. It didn't sound like a real interesting
now, does
design.
does this go up in the air too, or just on land?
No,
It goes up?
you're flying around with this stuff.
Really?
Yes, and they couldn't show it in the inside, but they had some people out showing it around on the outside of the convention center, which I thought was kind of interesting. But there were a couple of versions of it, and the company that's making one that actually you get inside of it, so it's not like you're going to fall or anything like that through the propellers, had its first test flight near Kitty Hawk.
Okay.
Like on Monday.
Yeah.
And it's the Chinese version of it, but just imagine taking one of those small ones and scaling it up until you can put humans in it. And there were a bunch of different companies doing that at CES. But I think the one that really caught the most attention was this autonomous one from the Chinese flying around in North Carolina on Monday.
I can see that. So what does the AMD Intel go to radiators?
AMD and Intel have been adding cores to their processor. And
Okay.
I think everybody kind of knows what it is, but instead of putting multiple processor chips on a board, they actually just put most of the intelligence part of the chip in it, but use the same electronics to access things like hard drives and monitors and all that stuff. So just the kind of the calculator part of the chip is the core, so you can run all your programs on a core. And of course, we've got dual cores and quad cores. AMD and Intel are going hog wild on this. AMD launched their 64-core processor on Monday, but before if you've ever built a computer, took one apart, you always found that it had a little heat sink on top of the processor and a little fan on it just to get rid of the heat from the processor. Well, there is so much heat from all these cores that Intel and AMD have given up even shipping a cooler for it. And they're just expecting everybody's going to buy a water cooling system for their
Interesting. Okay.
for the processors now. And
so that's why you're saying go to radiators, right? Because they're just saying, hey, it is what it is, and you guys got to put the water processor on there, right?
We've got so much heat that air just doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
And two, if you get a big heat sink that would work, then you got 5 pounds of metal hanging off a printed circuit board, and the last thing you want to do is crack your circuit board and lose everything, right?
Okay. So, stay right there, folks. Dave and I are going to come right back. We definitely got a few more things to talk about in the CES show. Dow Industrials right now, let's see, we're down $1.33. You get the NASDAQ trading off, let's see, where we are. Come on, NASDAQ. NASDAQ down 30, S&P's off 11.5. We'll come right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the Tax Opportunity Zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dow off 151, Nasdaq down 33, S&P's off 13.5. We're talking to our man, Mr. Dave White. We're talking about the Consumer Electronics Show and what we can maybe see coming into the future. So, robot dogs, what's that?
A company has built a robot dog in collaboration with what is the kids show on PBS? The one with the little pig and the frog.
Hermit?
Yeah. What is that though? What's the name of all that?
I know what you're saying, right? Someone in the den tell us. Okay, it's Hermit and
Muppets. There it is.
The Muppets, of course.
Right.
The Muppets.
So they've made this robot dog that if you'd have to do several takes.
Yeah.
To figure out it isn't real, but it barks and moves around, and it's supposed to be at this point a companion kind of comfort dog for people with mental illnesses. But it's really kind of scary how good they're getting at a lot of this stuff. It makes real barks and not just like with a speaker. I mean, it's got the internals that make the bark that sound like a real dog, and
cool,
all the mannerisms and the fur. They've got it down. Like I said, it doesn't move at this point, but it'll move its head and lick you and do all kinds of other stuff. Kind of a little kind of creepy these days.
I got to tell you the story. This is a crazy story, folks, but this is so true. So right now, I'm moving out a townhouse, and Dave knows it's beautiful. It's on the beach. We're down Indian Rocks Beach, right? Now they allow no pets, right, which is really BS in the context of the deal. But listen to this, Dave, right? Last weekend we have an open house. Last weekend, lady comes in, right? And she says, "Oh, I get this down pat now. I've had to live. I love my animals, and I've had to live in a place that doesn't allow them." And she has a fake dog, man.
There may be a bigger market for that than I know. But...
I know. Listen, I was looking at it. And she says, "Well, listen, they didn't let me have one, so I decided to get a fake dog, and it worked for me." I said, "Okay, man. It is what it is. I can see it. If you get one that's going to run around and bark and you go on vacation, you just turn it off. It's pretty good, man." Oh, man. Crazy. Skywalker hands. What's that?
Well, like in the movie Star Wars, where the protagonist had his hand cut off and they just grafted one on.
Oh, yeah, right.
This one pretty much works exactly like that. It is, I'd say 90% of a real hand now. And you can control it with your brain. You wear a little thing on your head and control it with the signals. So even if you don't have any kind of nerves going down to it,
okay,
you can actually use it. But it's 90% of a hand, and
Wild, man.
apparently they're getting ready to sell those this year. So if you're disabled,
Okay.
the dexterity that you can only get
That's
with a
huge.
human hand
Wow.
looks like they're going to run it out.
And then shaman technology. Is this,
This is the one.
is this an X-rated one? Are you gonna start wiping your
No.
butt with something? What are you doing?
This is when you know everybody's gone over the top. Charmin's got a robot, and the one purpose for this robot is to bring you toilet paper.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, wow. Oh,
So
my.
I thought when everybody's got robots, you kind of gotten to the point where saturation's probably fairly big.
Well, you know what's so funny about that, though? Think about that. Think about how many times people are in the bathroom and they're yelling, hey,
just
can you
wondering-
get me some toilet paper? Right?
Yeah, you just wonder how much of that is a PR stunt by
Yes,
Charmin,
yeah, no,
right? It makes a
absolutely.
lot of sense,
Right,
but it
does.
was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Big splash for the impossible beef and pork people.
Yeah.
Beyond Meat. They made a big splash there by showing pork and sausage and other things. And apparently they may have done this, or they did this last year, and everybody spit it out.
Okay.
They're saying that this is actually something that you could eat as a human. I don't know if I would, but certainly at least the responses are that it's acceptable now.
Well,
Be rolling out.
I mean, I haven't tasted any of it, but Dunkin' Donuts, man, they're pushing out this sausage, man. They're spending a fortune on this fake sausage, man. And,
Yeah.
We'll.
So Burger King's going to have it in, I think, the first week of February or second week of February. So you'll be able to go to Burger King and check it out, along with White Castle.
Okay.
They'll have both of them. One of the more interesting, again, a lot of robot stuff this year. They had an AI system that could play ping pong against you, and no one can win. They had people all week long trying to go after it, everything they did. But apparently it can figure out where you're going to hit the ball, where it's going to go in less than a millisecond from watching you.
That's pretty intense.
And everybody was trying to go up against it. And it seemed to be one of these things where just no human. We're at the point now where robots can be made to do a specific task.
Sure.
But there's still stuff that they can't do. Boeing gave up after 7 years, I think the end of last summer, trying to make the 777 where they were going to rivet the whole thing together with a robot. And there's some things that these can do very well. There's some things like, I guess, riveting the skins of airplanes on that humans still are going, it's going to be a long time for between those things getting replaced. But robot ping pong, yeah, you can't beat it, which is kind of.
I can see that because the ping pong table's not that big, right? So you just the X's and the ones and zeros have to cover the ping pong table, right?
Yeah, they've got it pretty much done. We got numbers from AMD, Intel, and NVIDIA over Christmas from Newegg.
Okay.
And for people that build their own computers for gaming or just know it, what we saw was in December that Newegg says that 90% of all the processors they sold were from AMD, only 10% were from Intel.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, AMD's processors are about 75% the price and much better than the Intel stuff for the consumer part of the business. They still don't have anything that approaches the business end where Intel makes most of their money, the server business. But you can only suspect that with the success that they've had in the low end, they'll move on. They introduced that 64-core processor on Monday. That's a $4,000 processor.
Wow.
So AMD had been the home of buying $50 processors, whatever was the cheapest.
Okay.
And they're certainly moving on.
And their chart has moved on too, for sure. Yeah, right.
AMD video card sales, though, were in the toilet. The drivers have a huge amount of problem with video games, and why they sold some. That part of it is extremely weak. NVIDIA pretty much has the lead on AMD like AMD has on Intel for video cards. So NVIDIA, I don't know what NVIDIA is going to report, but they had like 80% of the sales for video cards at Newegg.
Wow.
Christmas too. So that is really the big part of their business, machine learning, all that kind of stuff. AMD Bitcoin mining, but we may even bring that up in the next segment. Have some new numbers on what it costs to make a Bitcoin.
Stay right there, folks. Dave and I come right back. Dow down 143, NASDAQ off 34, S&P's off 12. Don't forget, folks, you can right over to our website, get Dave's letter, go into newsletters, you get the Tech Insider. Check it out, folks. Come right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dave White, Tom O'Brien. We have the Dow off 128, NASDAQ off 25, S&P's down 10. And Bitcoin, Dave.
Anything up for it, but I was reading through the paperwork about how many video cards it would take from NVIDIA or AMD to actually make a Bitcoin, mine one whole Bitcoin in one day. And it was in the thousands. And I started to think about it a little bit today, and Bitcoin had kind of a bounce. They've changed the way that how much you have to actually mine to actually get a full Bitcoin. So it kind of makes sense that as they make it harder to produce one, that you might find some lows in there. I mean, on the chart, it actually looked like it could bounce a little bit. I have no idea where it's going, but there may be a little bit of that where there were a lot of miners in there probably backing off, because it looks like it's almost impossible right now with the new setup that they have to actually make any money mining them. You'd spend
I
more.
guess did you see the epicenter is down in Texas now? So,
Yep, I saw that, and that's and I think I posted it in the Den.
You did, yeah, you
read
did.
that article,
right?
But
Because it's
no.
all about the power, right? And they're still dealing with they get some hydropower down there, so
Right, but I think you'd be better off opening a grocery store right now if you're trying to make 2 or 3% on something. It just looked like, from what I read, just looked like the amount of electricity you put in, even if it's cheap, you probably won't be able to make one and still make any money.
right. And
So-
what will happen in the future too, by the way, folks, every calculation gets harder. So every calculation, every Bitcoin is going to get harder to mine. So
And that's where it kind of took off last week, where they changed, or I guess it got to a level where that significantly changed, and it did find a low. So supply and demand for whatever is out there, but apparently it's always feast and famine in the Bitcoin
and
mining.
the Bitcoin business, no doubt. Listen, Dave, have a great one. Have a safe one. Thanks for the education. Look forward to the show next week. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. And whatever you want in life, folks, visualize it like a nice big motion picture. Dive into it. Take ownership of it. Fly with it. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. Come visit us back here Monday morning, 9 o'clock, folks.